Виртуализация жизненно необходима для современных IT-сред. Однако для развития и защиты бизнеса следует тщательно выбирать решения по виртуализации. Выбирайте надежные решения, предоставляющие значительные преимущества, наибольшую экономию и высочайшую скорость реагирования на бизнес-потребность. Облачную платформу Space VM.
Технологии UserGate не обращают внимания на географию и границы, обеспечивая надежность в любой точке цифровой вселенной. Мы заботимся о том, чтобы вам было комфортно и безопасно каждый день. Мы защищаем вас, пока вы меняете мир к лучшему.
Предприниматель бесконечно может смотреть на три вещи. Как горит огонь в глазах команды, как растет поток клиентов и как работают деньги. Откройте расчетный счет в Акбарсбанке с доходом 15,5% на остаток.
We're very glad to welcome all of you. If we are ready, I guess we shall start. Today we're going to discuss a very interesting topic, a topic gaining more and more in importance during the Kazan Digital Week. The issues of cybersecurity are paid a great share of attention as a whole. And the issues of digitalization are being reviewed in a big detail. But this session, we will do more global outlook on the international cooperation within the sphere of the development of the ICT and cybersecurity as related. As a whole, I'm glad that pretty much we shall not convince anyone about the need of such cooperation, so that this cooperation is playing a major role in the field of the cybersecurity, and today it is a paramount part of the national safety and security systems worldwide. And our joint efforts allow us to exchange technologies, experience, and to fight the cybercrime quite efficiently, which is a big problem and big threat today. Plus, the international cooperation fosters, or shall foster, the creation of the norms and standards regulating the state technologies, which is leading to more sustainable and well-reasoned development of the economy. We have widely represented speakers today, not only from the point of the positions that they're taking, but from the quite a wide geography we have present here, a wide range of regions we have present here, and it'll be very interesting to know about the priorities which are formed in the countries that are presented by our participants. We can do some comparisons and maybe form new vectors of cooperation. With great pleasure, I would like to introduce our today's panel, our speakers. Today we have with us a special representative, the President of the Russian Federation in the IT sphere, Mr. Artur Lukmanov, the head of the Mikhail Bogatikov, head of the Department of International Aspects of Cybersecurity, Koshkin Anton, also expert of the National Coordination Center of Computers Incidents, and Alexander Lukic, head of the Department of Ministry of ICT of Belgrade, and Zambavita Joseph, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Rwanda in the Russian Federation, Ang Kamrang, Director of Department of Informational Security and ICT, Ministry of Mail and Telecom from Cambodia. Felix Quevedo Cepeda will be connected online. He is an expert of the Digital Transformation Department of Lima, Peru. And Wang Xiaomeng from Myanmar also is here with us today. So I guess we shall start, and I would like to start with the representative, one of the key Russian authorities implementing the state policy of our country in the sphere of ICT. And I would like to start with you, and I would like to listen to the opinion of regulators and opinion of the ICT representatives of the issues that we are going to discuss today. I'm very glad to welcome all of you to today's forum, and it's not a secret that we are living within the rapid transformation environment, and today ICT they have huge potential for the development of the economy, science, education, and state management as well. However, in the modern world, ICT they become a key tool not only for the world progress, but also for the bad practices as well, like to have the unlawful conduct, illegal conduct, and the methods of the criminals are becoming, more and more peculiar, and so the scale of damage is growing. And for Ministry of Digital Development of Russia as the regulator of the ICT industry in Russia to provide international cybersecurity, these issues are of principal importance. And in line with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation and other authorities, we take part in the implementation of the state policy in the cybersecurity. Today, within this session, I would like to stop in more detail about our responsibility in our work. And well, as a whole, Ministry of Digital Development is very actively in cooperating in that environment in bilateral, multilateral format. We also advocate for our position at all of the recognized international platforms. And one of the top priorities of our work is the formation of the international legal regulation of the issues related to the ICT. And in that regard, there is a special importance for us, the regulation of the personal data protection during their transborder transfer within the UN and on the regional platforms as well. In the recent years, we are taking part in the development of the UN Convention on the counteraction of the usage of ICT in the criminal offenses. And in August 2024, by the Special Committee of UN, we were able to approve the draft of the text of this convention. The main target here for the authorities is the criminalization of the actions of the unauthorized access to the ICT systems, creation and the usage and distribution of malignant software, as well as other actions. And the final project is I've included the following things. At the same time, I would like to draw your attention to the existing unlawful practice this is for the fraudulent data criminalization of such actions. They are there to limit the commercial resources that provide access to the data of the citizens on a paid basis. Well, the amendments were made to our criminal code 2024 in the year 2024, and as a result of the signing of the convention, we have to do everything in order to add such provisions to the additional protocols on the protection of the personal data. And the personal data protection during the transborder exchange, it sets a minimum requirements for the transfer of them, including the procedure of transfer of these data to third parties, and in the conditions when there are no universal requirements for the protection of the personal data yet. So the drafts, these projects are very valuable for the future provision of the guarantees of safety and security of the personal data in all of the participating countries. And there will be a big potential of this convention for the bilateral and multilateral cooperation between the countries in order to protect these data in the future and so that it can be safely exchanged in between the countries. There are other also prerequisites to increase the digital literacy of the population of our countries to fight the cybercrime, and we are very actively with the educational industry on that. We have created an expert council on digital literacy, and here we are willing to interact with any partners who are interested in that. Also, to continue with the topic of the counteraction with the cybersecurity, well, also we shall touch on the AI and deepfake creation, as it was mentioned, and many have mentioned today. At the platform of the forum, we reside in the time of a very rapid technological change, and the AI capabilities are growing very rapidly. AI opens up a huge potential for us to work in various spheres of public life. However, as any technology, the AI usage have to be used with certain rules, and it has to be regulated in such a manner so that the rights of citizens are protected. It will allow us to avoid the scenarios when AI can be used in destructive and fraudulent activities. As part of the international cooperation in that regard, I believe that the state, they have to create in the future certain decisions. Currently, however, we are overlooking how AI is being developed, and in line with the implementation of new solutions, we are developing the regulation mechanisms. And in that regard, ethical principles and standards of behavior are very important, the ones that we should be guided by in Russia. And there's AI ethics code. In Russia, it existed, and this document sets out the ethic aspect of the creation, implementation, and the usage of the AI at all the stages of the life cycle. Here, for us, a special event was to create the consortium on the study of safety and security of the AI technologies, and on the basis of that, there are 4 working groups, and the first working group deals with the formation of the base to be included into the national strategy of the development of the AI, and the second group, and there is also a second group that works on the functioning of the register of the trusted solutions with the AI, and the fourth one is dealing with the measures of the safe development of these technologies. I shall also stop on one of the areas of work related to the implementation of tasks in the sphere of cybersecurity delivered by the Ministry of Digital Communications and ICT. Here we interacting with the International Union of the Electric Connections, that is to improve the frequency allocation, to improve the usage of frequencies. For us, it is the key platform to establish standards and recommendations of the policies in the sphere of cybersecurity. Work of this site in that regard is mainly concentrated on this sector of standardization of electric connections, as well as the research commission. This is IK 17, International Commission number 17, within which we're developing the we're developing the guidelines, and over there we have developed such standards as the recommendations on the counteracting of the spam distribution, finding and fighting the incidents, as well as to provision the protection of cloud computing, blockchain, big data solutions. I shall also note that our work in that regard is quite complex, and the cooperation there, it has a very expert and technical aspect of it. Still, it suffers from politics. I mean, this platform and the issues of cybersecurity, they are closely related to national sovereignty, and so the countries very often they are promoting different attitude towards control over the internet and the role of the state over there, and that makes our work at this platform more difficult. Also, we shall not forget about the direct bilateral cooperation. Here, the Ministry of Digital Development is a competent authority to implement the international safety and security. So such a work is being delivered within the specialized bilateral meeting under the aegis of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, around the Council of Public Security, and we have working group meetings which are included in a part of the intergovernmental commissions on the technical cooperation with Russia within the partner countries. And on the basis of those working groups, we reach agreements not only in line with the ministries and governments, but it also allows our commercial companies, national companies, to work, to operate which work and operate with our assistance in terms of promoting their solutions, and they find partners on the foreign markets. Here, talking about the practical events that we organize as part of the of international companies. So the international cyber championships are there, and the one that was delivered within the CIPR conference. We have organized an event with Rostelecom Solar with our support and with the support of the National Computer Incident Response and Coordination Center. Teams from over 26 countries have taken part over there, and we are always getting their requests to participate in such events. I can continue basically forever, but I guess I shall wind up, and I shall note that such platforms as today's forum, they give the opportunity to exchange opinions of the specialists from various industries, and as a whole, they play a paramount role in the creation of the general understanding on the issues of cybersecurity and international cybersecurity as well. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mikhail Andreevich. Well, may I ask you a question, please? You have said that Ministry of Digitalization and IT interact actively with them. Well, so we feel it. We see that you actively interact with this field. Well, so you facilitate the companies in the sphere of cybersecurity. And what is your assessment? How do you esteem the situation? Are there any new companies in Russia that are involved into the international cooperation? Maybe they deal with adaptation of their products and are eager to find their cooperation in different countries, and or maybe there are just the companies who deal with that. Are there any shifts and changes concerning the international cooperation in the sphere of cybersecurity, and is developing, rapid developing? Thank you very much for your question. Honestly, the interest is ever growing. Our companies have already tested their solutions at the national market, go on the wider arena and expand their cooperation. They are open to discuss their perspectives. In general, we may say that the role of commercial companies in the interaction is of practical aspect, as our foreign partners have demands for technical facilitation and potential enhancement, and we pay a lot of attention to these issues, and due to our commercial companies we manage to solve these issues, to raise the issues and to somehow solve them, and it is a kind of maneuver, well, so the way out for them, and it is a way of cooperation. Thank you very much, and of course we are very thankful for the attention to this question, and I'd like to give the floor to the representative of Serbia Republic. And I suggest asking questions after all the presentations. Maybe you will have some more than one. Or, well, if you... Sorry, the speaker can't be heard without a mic.
Людям тоже будет интересно послушать, какой у вас вопрос.
Well, so you've said that there is a code on artificial intelligence. What code is it? Who follows it? Who is it addressed to? Well, so the ethic code in the sphere of AI has been developed and led by the design companies. It is not of the compulsory character. It is a document that is voluntarily spread among the developers and designers of AI in commercial groups, in the large commercial groups. And as I know, I can't give the concrete figures, specific figures, but the majority of designers adhere to this code. They follow it when cooperating with foreign partners. It is the basis. It is volunteer at the moment, but it is the basis for the development of AI. There were cases when AI. Well, so what is the international regulation of these questions? In terms of AI, I already said about it. In terms of threats of AI, the state is still to have a dialogue, as there are no certain solutions that have been worked out. And we treat the AI very seriously in terms of threats, fakes, and viruses, data viruses that machines are learning on. And here we have a double-sided exchange of opinions with our colleagues. And at the international platform, we do not raise this question separately, as we view AI as a technology, informational and communicational technology. The threats are spread to all the technologies, and the threats that spread for the developing of any technology are also spread to AI. That is why we are not rushing to discuss this issue separately from others, and we discuss this issue separately anyway. Very often on the two-side basis, when we have some certain interest in we discuss it in person. Thank you very much for the question. Well, so it is really good that we have an interactive discussion, and of course we will leave time for questions. If you have them during the session, you will have an opportunity to ask them later. And now I give the floor to the representative of Serbia Republic, Alexander Lukic. IT sphere in your country is developing very actively, and we know that on the level, on the state level, you introduce legal acts, strategies, and the market on many assessments in Serbia is rather prospective compared to your neighbors. Can you tell us more about your strategies? First of all, I'd like to say that it is a great honor for me and pleasure to speak at this forum in this beautiful city of Kazan. Just a few days ago, my friend, a great sculptor, Katadinovich, the Russian academician, said in the Innopolis the sculpture to a famous Serbian scientist, Nikola Tesla. Dear colleagues, dear friends, at the age of digital transformation, the enhancement of digital security, cybersecurity have become the factors of sustainability and institutional stability of international cooperation. As cyber threats become still more and more pervasive and transbordered, it is important that state institutes invest into technical and regulatory and personal human resources. Moreover, international and regional cooperation plays a key role in this context. Exchange of state-of-the-art practices and also adherence to the international standards, developing of joint programs for education and technical assistance allow the countries to increase their collective sustainability to cyber threats. Cooperation in the field of enhancement of potential of information security, cybersecurity, is not just a technical task, but a strategic investment into security, stability, and flourishment of our digital future. It allows the governments to protect the ethical infrastructure, to provide continuous state services, and improve the trust of citizens to cyber systems. In Serbia, we have a strategy for developing a wide informational society and cybersecurity development from 21st to 26 years that cover priorities in the field of cybersecurity and include a number of measures and events implemented in our country. The basic aims of the strategy are the following: increasing awareness and improvement of knowledge in the field of IT security among citizens, state officials, and business people. Enhancement of potential for the system of special assessment, the development of potential of CERT, state centers, and CRT of independent operators and systems. The enhancement of potential on informational technology, security, promotion of state and private partnership in the field of cybersecurity, obtaining regional and also reaching international cooperation. International Council of E-Connection is a specialized establishment of UNO, regards Serbia as one of most successful in the field of cybersecurity. According to ratings, Serbia enters the highest group of 5 countries with the highest level of development in this sphere. In its report, ITU assessed 5 key components of development: the legal base, technical measures, organizational measures, the potential development, and international cooperation. Serbia is regarded one of the leading countries on all these aspects that supports its significant contribution to providing high level of cybersecurity. At this forum, we would like to highlight the work of open group in UNO on cybersecurity issues that has become the key platform for enhancement and trust in working out global norms and providing international law in cyberspace. Its special value is in providing equal participation of all the states, regardless of their level of technological development. We welcome the procedure of making decisions on the basis of consensus with the leading role of states, and including into the mandate the mechanism of successors on developing norms, compulsory norms. Serbia understands the role of this group and actively participates in its work. For us, it is an opportunity to strengthen our cybersecurity and contribute into our to make a contribution to the international dialogue in the issues of using technologies. Thus, Serbia increases their cybersecurity and positions itself as a reliable partner in international community. Serbia also takes part in implementation of measures on trust enhancement developed by OSCE with the aim of decreasing risks of conflicts connected with the use of informational telecommunications. Serbia is a sponsor on increasing trust concerning national terminology and definitions in the sphere of cybersecurity. In this context, Serbia has created a website with the terminology and definitions which are in the open access. The law of the Republic of Serbia on IT security, cybersecurity, provides the protection of the system. The systems that have a special value for functioning of the state in the field of economy and for the society. It defines the procedures providing confidential integrity and accessibility of data and systems. The law fixes the role of key institutes such as national CERT and competent bodies, and also sets the duties of operators and IT systems of special value, including the duties to report on incidents, assess risks, and apply measures for security. In the nearest period, we will adopt a new law on cybersecurity that will improve the existing solutions. And in its frame, Serbia establishes the body on cybersecurity, and this establishment will be the central national body in the field of cybersecurity that will provide coordinated approach for cybersecurity and information space protection. As a national CERT, the body will provide not only will give not only operative responses for incidents, but also form the system for risk management and threats prevention. And its key potentials are reaction to incidents and coordination as the first contact point in cases of cyber attacks, providing coordinated, professional, fast responses on all the sector levels, monitoring and risk management, finding out vulnerability and keeping track of risks in private sector, and operators of ethical infrastructure, implementation of policy, control for consecutive application of norms, standards, and measures of cybersecurity, development of potential, increasing awareness, organization of training, and providing technical and human resources in the sphere of information technologies and cybersecurity on the national level, providing the state companies, private companies, and academic media to create the sustainable ecosystem. The establishment of the body has a special value, as it is responsible for the sphere which is dynamically developing. It strengthens the ability of state to respond to large-scale cyber incidents, supports citizens, businesses, institutions in the sphere of secure business, secure aspects, and it is the basis for the developing of information security system that provides trust, sustainability in the digital space. Thank you. I suggest asking questions at the end. Just keep your question in mind and please put down your question, and we will discuss these issues later. Mr. Lukic, thank you very much for your presentation, and I will allow myself to ask you a question. From everything we see and read in the media, news media, we may come to conclusion that Serbia has an independent state policy. How do you manage to do it in the sphere of cybersecurity and information security? As we know that there is regulation on the regional level, European level, and we also see that Serbia is open for cooperation with other countries, including Russia, China, and other countries. How important it is for you and how difficult it is for you. Serbia is in a very hard position as it leads the sovereign policy, and I think that we do it successfully, and we cooperate with all the countries in the world, especially with Russia, which we value much. We see Russia as the friendly country, and we are surrounded by such countries as European Union, and we also have to cooperate with them. Thank you very much, and now let us move on. Anatoly Alexandrovich, you present the center, which is, besides a number of internal functions inside the country, connected with counteraction with computer incidents. Your center also interacts with foreign countries' bodies on information exchange on incidents. How do you estimate in general the situation in terms of intergovernmental cooperation at present? Good day, and the topic of computer incidents response is an agenda of the information security, and I'd like to dwell on such actual tendencies and developing of profile development between countries. But first of all, I'd like to present the organization which I represent. Since 2012, the National Computer Incident Response and Coordination Center has been operating as the competent authority for responding to information security threats. Our center was established in accordance with the federal law on the security of the critical information infrastructure of the Russian Federation, and its main task is to provide infrastructure facilities and other subjects of the information space. Our functions are also coordination of measures for responding to computer incidents, directly participating in such events, exchanging relevant information between the entities of the information infrastructure, providing methodological support, and so on. Correspondingly, the existing mandates make us the National Computer Emergency Response Team, known as CERT abbreviation. Moving on to the topic of my report, I'd like to note that initially the idea of creating a CERT community and organizing interaction among technical specialists from different countries contributed to the unification of efforts in the fight against information security threats. However, over time, this idea has taken a backseat. The current situation in the information space is characterized by growing distrust and tensions between countries and states. At the same time, the number and sophistication of computer attacks are steadily increasing, and it is not a secret that information security threats evolve and largely depend on geopolitical situation. Under these conditions, there is a polarization of countries' approaches to issues of international cooperation. This also applies to issues of responding to computer incidents. Existing regional and private networks uniting CERT groups like first organization, can't ensure representative and equal participation of all countries in organizing work on responding to computer incidents due to their high politicization and unwillingness to engage in open and pragmatic interaction with technical experts from certain countries. In this regard, our center is taking measures aimed at developing profile-relevant interstate interaction. And first of all, our efforts are aimed at regulating the interaction of authorized bodies and creating rules and procedures for communication between CERT teams. At the bilateral level, our center proposes to formalize the intention to cooperate in this sphere by signing the Memorandum of Understanding to respond to the incidents. The typical project of such a document has been developed by our specialists. The memorandum facilitates to define the main areas of cooperation of mutual interest, forms of interaction, and also methods of information exchange. And any country can sign such an agreement with if it has a national CERT or its equivalent. At the same time, at the international level, a universal instrument is in demand that promotes dialogue among all the countries. And we consider the Global Intergovernmental Points of Contact Directory created on the initiative of Russian Federation under the auspices of the UN to be such an instrument. This is a new promising mechanism for interaction and responding to computer attacks, the sources of which are located in foreign segments of the Internet network. Its creation was supported by UN member states by consensus within the UN open-ended working group on security in the use of ICT and ICTs themselves. Work on developing of the directory began in 2023, and on the 9th of May 2024 it was put into operation, and a web platform for participants was launched by the UN Office for Disarmament Affairs. And to date, the contact details of the authorized bodies in the directory was given by 121 countries, and the main task of this instrument is to prevent conflicts between states that may arise as a result of the illegal use of ICTs. For this purpose, two levels of interaction have been created, technical and diplomatic. And to organize this interaction, we use email and telephones. Our center is designated as the technical point of contact. Nevertheless, there are a number of drawbacks connected with the participation of certain UN member states in the global intergovernmental points. In a number of cases, countries appoint several technical points of contact, ranging from 1 to 8. And in practice, this leads to a blurring of areas of responsibility and misunderstanding regarding the correct recipient of a request. And the point of the directory is for the requesting party to know its counterpart, but not choose it from a list, especially if the situation is complex and requires immediate measures and actions. Therefore, in our work, we call all member states to designate one authorized body to perform the functions of a single window. We also define technical points of contact that at the national level do not have enough competence to suppress sources of malicious activity from the national information space. In such situations, such members offer us to write the provider directly, but in practice they ignore such requests. When notifications are sent to certain points of contact, a response does not always arrive, and it is one of the main problems, and the requests for assistance are just ignored by some countries. Moreover, part of the responses are simply automatically generated ones. Besides, the global register can include non-working email addresses, and we simply obtain technical technical messages from the mail services. There is no common understanding among UN member states regarding the tasks performed by technical points of contact within the director, and it is also connected with the fact that OEWG is considered by many countries as a political platform, as they include not only diplomatic but also technical points. And one of the drawbacks of the directory is its voluntary nature, and it was the requirement of UN members, combined with the lack of universally recognized rules and procedures for interaction between technical points of contact. This leads to countries being unable to increase the effectiveness of international cooperation. Anyway, the development of the directory continues, and our center took part in the first simulation exercises of 4 points of contact, where the states offered exchange information to mitigate the sequences of incident in a fictional country. And lately, in the final months, our working group had worked on creating a draft template for exchanging information on ICT security issues. But it couldn't be agreed due to its unsuitability for technical points of contact. Now, that is why our specialists designed their own project and submitted it to UN ODA. The mandate of OEWG ended in July 2025, and custody of the directory was transferred to the successor format, which is called the World Mechanism for Achievement in ICT in the context of international security and the promotion of responsible behavior of states in the use of ICT. Thus, we call on all the states to actively interact within the created directory in terms of developing the parameters for its functioning and practical cooperation. The main task of CERT group is the protection of national informational resources and supporting their functioning in the interest of state and society. Thus, their activities should not become an object of politicization or unilateral sanctions. And in ideal, any national CERT should know where to turn in terms of malicious activity, and it should be sure that its request will be processed and will be effectively processed. And the voluntary nature of interaction between CERT teams leads to stagnation and does not allow countries to increase the effectiveness of responding to evolving information security threats. In the context of growing tension in the international information space, the directory can help reduce misunderstanding and risk of malicious perception of incidents, and also transparent, depoliticized dialogue in the field of ICT security. Thank you very much for your attention. Well, generally it is all exhaustive, and also all the issues concerning the directory. Well, so I have heard the answers, and as I understand the position, the most effective is to transfer the directory from voluntarily into compulsory. And unless instead of waiting the state to introduce it. Of course, it is better to create something compulsory than hope that any technical specialist in any other country will see the message and think over, well, so yes, we have to help the state. And we all understand that UNO is a big platform, and to bring something to mandatory level, to compulsory level, well, so we need quite a lot of time, and this tool exists for more than a year. Well, so, and during all the international events, we try to draw the state attention and especially if there are CER teams participants, and explain that this instrument is universal as it includes all the countries. It is interstate, intergovernmental with all the plenipotentiary bodies, but not just participants. And it is this instrument that is the best alternative which CERT teams have. Thank you very much. And I hope that sooner or later we will all come to that. And now I'd like to give the floor to the representative of African continent, Mr. Ambassador. Rwanda has made a great step ahead in terms of cybersecurity and digitalization in general, especially compared to your neighbors in the region, and it proves that the mentioned international indices and ratings. And what efforts did you undertake and are undertaking?
I thank you so much, Mr. Moderator, and I'm very happy to be here in Kazan. I thank the leadership of Tatarstan, His Excellency Rais, for having given us this opportunity. In my presentation, I'll give Rwanda's context, and in other words, even Africa, putting it in a context here. I'll talk about Rwanda's digital transformation journey. I'll talk about our ICT priorities, specifically to be able to answer your question. Then I'll talk about the cybersecurity and ICT institutions, measures that we have put in place, then regional and global engagements, and opportunities for Rwanda and Russia cooperation. Now, to be able to understand where Africa is regarding ICT, let's first of all understand that Africa has been probably the source of development for some Western countries for centuries. If you go through the slave trade, you go to colonization, the industrialization of the West was drawing mainly from Africa, including taking away the human resource, but also our natural resources. So whenever people, therefore, are talking about the status of Africa today, we forget that actually the development that has been taking place in this world has partly been contributed largely by Africa and without benefiting Africa. That's number one. Number two, Africa, I think, has been one of the biggest civilizations in this world. So wherever you listen about the problems on the continent, just know that your civilization is actually hinged on the civilizations from the African continent. I would mention a few. If you talk about the Egyptian civilization and its contribution, you go towards the Western Africa and you talk about the civilizations in the Sahel. Mansa Musa was at one time the richest man in the world. If you wanted to value him in current today, he would be worth among the world's billionaires. You go to Southern Africa, you had empires like the Zimbabwe Empire. Rwanda is a country of 1,000 years. So wherever you are talking about Rwanda, we are talking of a people that have been of a unique identity, a common identity of 1,000 years. So we are a proud people when it comes to, when you are talking about Africa, we Africans, we are very proud people. And we just look at whatever is taking place. You know, we are going to be there and we are going to shape the world. So that is the context. But when also it comes to Rwanda, the events of 1994, where we lost 1 million people in only 3 months, 100 days, has been a stark reminder that man is also an embodiment of good and evil. Slavery, but colonialism, the impact of colonialism, in destroying the African institutions, African people, and ultimately the neocolonial policies that led to the death of 1 million of Tutsis in 1994. From 1994 to today, 30 years on, we have rebuilt Rwanda. Rwanda is one of the biggest developing countries in the world with a GDP per capita of 8%. I can assure you that we have an aspiration of being one of the most developed countries by 2050 because we have a vision that we are executing and is producing results. Specifically on the digital transformation journey, Rwanda views ICT as an economic driver, and we have it under our national strategy for transformation, part 1 and part 2, but we also see it helping us to achieve the higher middle income status by 2050. We have achieved strong development in e-governance. Our country is one of the most connected governments in the world. We have e-governance, we have a digital public service sector whereby we provide over 680 government services today. And this covers the entire country. So we have entirely digitized the government, and we are now digitizing the economy. We have e-commerce, we have e-services, we have a fully digitized government and economic system. We are rolling out a single digital ID to create a trusted and secure ecosystem. Now, what are Rwanda's key ICT priorities in National Security for Transformation sector plan? We want to build, and we are building, affordable, quality broadband, 4G, 5G expansion across the country, having universal smart coverage, smartphones by all our population, and increasing computer and space technology developments. We have one of the highest connected countries when it comes to fiber optic coverage in the world per GDP. Now, as we build all this, we are not oblivious of cyber security threats. So we are also building cyber security protection through regulation and putting up infrastructures, institutions in place. We have put up a data protection law to ensure that cyber security and cyber crime is at least controlled where you cannot control it 100%. If it occurs, then we are able to conduct the investigation as the experts here have talked about. We have emerging technologies and data. We are using AI in various fields. We rolled out robotics and drones. Rwanda is one of the innovation centers in the world, I would say. We were almost one of the first countries to use drones as an innovation between government and private businesses. We adopted the use of zipline in delivery of blood to the extent that we have cut down the death of mothers that are giving birth because we are able to deliver blood in minutes across the country. We have recently launched unmanned taxis across the country, and we think that with these innovations, they are going to contribute towards not only the development of the country, but we are also contributing to the transport of the future. We are imparting digital skills and workforce development, whereby we are training 1 million coders across the country. We are also equipping 500,000 Rwandans with advanced ICT skills, because without these skills, even if you cannot talk about cybersecurity with a population that is not literate when it comes to ICT. We have a commitment of reaching 100% digital literacy nationwide. This is a very big ambition, but we are implementing it step by step. We are an innovation and startup hub. whereby we have effectively invested more than 3% of our GDP in R&D. We are building a proof of concept hub. I talked about Zipline. I talked about the transport of the future, whereby we are using unmanned aerial taxis. And we are also in the fintech and e-commerce. On the African continent, you should know that actually when it comes to fintech, Africa comes at the forefront when it comes to use of mobile money. A software developed on the African continent in Kenya, but yet least talked about, and then it is spread across the world. Now, as we use the mobile money across the continent, we need also to ensure that it is secure, and therefore financial transactions are transacted in a secure manner. But we're also developing these fintech strategies to strengthen digital financial inclusion and innovation. On cybersecurity, Rwanda has not only established policies, but we have also enacted laws. We established institutions. We have a National Cybersecurity Authority that cooperates with national cybersecurity institutions across the world in computer investigation of incidents that occur. They enter into memorandum of understanding with their counterparts so that there is not only a bilateral cooperation, but multilateral cooperation when it comes to investigation of computer crime and cyber crime. And these are MOUs that are being negotiated and signed gradually with all countries across the world. We have a Rwanda Information Security Authority that leads the implementation of national ICT policies and projects. It coordinates digital transformation across government, including e-government platforms and digital ID rollout. We have other institutions like Rwanda Utilities Regulatory Authority, Rwanda Development Board, including our national academic institutions that are involved in the rollout of education. On regional and global engagement, Rwanda hosts the Africa Cyber Defense Forum that has created a platform for African countries to share best practices and develop local cyber security solutions. So we admit that Africa is lagging behind, but Rwanda cannot develop alone. That's why we are rallying the continent to ensure that we build our cyber defense institutions and capabilities. We are cooperating with global partners to harmonize the data protection, AI regulation, and digital sovereignty policies. Africa is being a playground by the Western meddlers and other malefactors. So by us building the cooperation between countries, we are able to at least ensure that we build on our sovereignty. Opportunities for Rwanda and Russia cooperation. Let me highlight that you asked a question about some of the Russian companies that are involved in international arena. Let me answer you directly, not from the Russian perspective. On the screen that you have there, we have some of the companies that we are working with, and we have been working for a long time with Rwanda, and they are some of the leading companies that Russia has, and therefore you should be very proud, but we need to increase the cooperation. On a larger scale, Rwanda is working with Rosatom to build nuclear capabilities on the continent, but also specifically on Africa. We are building a small medium reactor. We are also trying to build a nuclear research center whereby we should be able to engage in various industries, including agriculture, education, medicine. We are talking about cyber telemedicine that also has got to be protected. And with this, we should be able to produce enough power. If you are talking about building data centers across the world, Africa should not just be seen to be lagging behind. If we have enough power And working with institutions like Rosatom, there is ample room for development and cooperation between Rwanda, Russia, but also Russia and Africa. In AI, we engage into joint research and pilot projects, including, for instance, I talked about AI drones and whatnot, but we cannot do that without engaging into further business and government engagements. We need to further go into business processing outsourcing. Africa is rich with a vibrant population. We should be able to support even the Russian high-tech industries, and cooperating together. We think that also cooperation at the UN in these regulations and policies that we should be able to help us regulate the world in the cyber world would be an important journey. So I thank you so much, and we look forward to working very well with Russia.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you very much. It was really interesting listening to you. Also, the thesis that we have to enhance the cooperation with the Russian companies and Rwanda. Of course, I do agree with that. And let me ask a question. In April in Rwanda, we had a global summit on AI in Africa, and we read the news that Rwanda is becoming a kind of hub on AI in Africa. And are there such plans, if you are aware about that, and how serious and what is the scale of issues concerning AI in Africa?
AI is being used in all facets of life on the continent. And we talked about AI development using robotics. We are talking about use of unmanned aerial vehicles. We are talking about telemedicine. We are talking about business processing. So Africa is a vibrant continent. We have a youthful population, but technology is taking root, and we think that AI can also be used in the quest for the urgent development needed on the continent, including in education. And I would encourage Russian companies to see Africa as a place of, it's a continent of the future. And I would think that partnership between Russia and Africa in AI would also produce very good results, and cooperation between our two peoples. Thank you.
Спасибо, спасибо большое.
Thank you so much. And now I'd like to give the floor to our guest from Cambodia, Mr. Kamrang. In general, practically all the states of Southeast Asia pay a lot of attention to cybersecurity and AI development, and we work a lot with them. And can you share your experience and your approaches? Thank you very much.
Can I show my presentation? I share my slide with the organizer. Can you? Good afternoon, all participants. It is my honor to be here to share very specific, and this is my practical experience in the last 3 years. Yep. Next slide, please. The point I am going to focus to brief the participant all today, I'm going to focus on Cambodia vision, the recent achievement of Cambodian government, and also the challenges we are facing. Those challenges include the cyber security. You can see in my first slide, the government have very, very specific vision. The vision for digital Cambodia. The government would like to transform our country from lower middle income to an upper middle income country by 2030. This is our long-term vision. And the other catalyst, because of the COVID-19, the government accelerate the adoption of digital technology, highlighting the need of a robust digital economy. And the other point, the policy. The Royal government have introduced two key policies. The first one, Cambodia digital economy, and the other one, Cambodia digital government policy. All of this, we are going to create a vibrant digital economy and society. Next slide, please. The key pillar Cambodia policy, in our policy, we would like to focus on a digital citizen, digital government. As a gentleman from Rwanda mentioned, in order to be a digital country, digital citizen is a must, and then digital government. Our people must be digital illiterate, very important, and then digital government. Our government staff, our government officer must be proactive, must be digital literacy as well, in order to provide service to the citizen. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Digital business. We have digital citizen, we have digital government, so now it's come to digital business. Our government have to make sure, have to provide support to all micro, small, and medium-sized enterprise to adopt digital technology. This, as I mentioned already, this we learn from COVID. Yeah, you know, most of the SME, the not only small and medium enterprise, but also micro enterprise, they usually practice traditional business. But when the COVID come, they have problem. That is why we have to focus on digital business. Next slide, please. And this slide, I'm going to share with you the digital industry development, the recent government initiative, the policy infrastructure. Actually, our government is actually working on improving digital connectivity, especially in rural area, establishing digital transformation, digitalization. Our Ministry of Post and Telecommunication of Cambodia coordinated this effort in order to have digital citizen, in order to have digital business, digital government service. All of this infrastructure is very important. Our government also working on expand the high-speed internet network and improve the connectivity with the goal of achieving universal connectivity by 2027. This includes the construction of national data center. Next slide, please. We also focus on digital skill and human resource. There is a significant focus on bridging the digital skill gap. Ministry of Post and Telecommunication of Cambodia offers scholarship and financial aid to students in digital field. Most of our students did not select digital skill in the past. That's why we have to push them, we have to provide them scholarship, we have to encourage them. We have built community technology center to provide digital access and education to the people in the remote area. And our country have launched the first digital media and information literacy. This one we work with NGO. Next one, please.
Да, я прошу прощения на секунду.
Okay.
У нас просто...
Yeah, just a second. Mr. Ambassador unfortunately has to leave to another meeting. He requested just 30 seconds. Mr. Ambassador requests now to speak, and then he will leave, and you will continue after him.
I really appreciate, and it's not a custom of me to disrupt a colleague, but I have to be in the forum of His Excellency Rice. I just wanted to, 30 seconds. Rwanda is hosting the 6th Annual Africa Cyber Defense Forum from the 29th of September to 3rd of October, so end of this month. And it is themed towards a secure and sovereign digital Africa. So I wanted to invite all of you. I want to invite the Russian authorities, Russian companies, but my colleagues here also on the panel. It's an important opportunity for you to engage with the entire continent, African continent, in Kigali. So I thought that I would disrupt my colleague for this information, but also we have a brand called Visit Rwanda. With visiting Rwanda, you'll be seeing firsthand what Rwanda is doing, but also specifically in the cyber and ICT sector. I thank you very much, moderator, and sorry for disruption.
Спасибо. Спасибо большое.
Thank you so much. So we will let Mr. Ambassador go now for the meeting with the Rais, and please continue with your presentation. Yeah, please.
Yes, and part of the ecosystem in order to have a digital society, tech startup also play an important role. That is why our government offer more support for technology-based startup in various sectors like agriculture, education, and health. Also, another initiative, skill development. We have partnership with international organizations and a focus on education and research aim to build a skilled workforce for digital future, particularly in STEM field. The other, I mentioned already, digital government service. The government have launched various online platforms for services such as tax payment system, business registration, and document verification. This is in order to have a digital society. Next slide, please. Colleague and participant may know, whenever we have digitalization, the challenge, the cyber security issue must be along. That is why I would like to share with you the current cyber security landscape. As digital adoption increase, I mentioned already, the risk of cyber attack, Cambodia remains vulnerable due to a lack of comprehensive legislation and developing institutional framework. Actually, to mention specifically the legal framework, we actually have drafted cybersecurity law and personal data protection law, but they are still under review and discussion. That is why the current legal environment is fragmented. Existing laws such as e-commerce law and penal code can only address some aspect of data protection, but are not comprehensive. It creates uncertainty and leave individual and business exposed. Next slide, please. Institutional capacity, the National Cambodia Computer Emergency Response Team, CAMCERT, and cyber crime unit within the National Police have been established, but their capacity need to be developed more and more. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah. The current challenge, there is a notable lack of skill, IT, cybersecurity professional, making it difficult for business and government to implement robust security measures. And also lack of public awareness. Some, even government officials, they don't have a comprehensive understanding of cyber security awareness. That is a must. We have to push for that awareness. Next slide, please. Let me mention about the international cooperation. I mentioned already those challenges. Here are the initiative, the partnership we have so far. We have technical assistance and capacity building program, like JICA technical assistance. You may know JICA, Japan International Cooperation Agency. strengthening the capacity of CAMCERT and improving national cyber incident management. We have ASEAN Digital Integration Initiative. As a member of ASEAN, Cambodia benefit from regional collaboration and initiative aimed at strengthening digital connectivity and security across Southeast Asia. And also knowledge sharing on best practice and standard among not only ASEAN member, but also with other countries. We have cyber drill, yep. Participation in ASEAN-wide and other regional cyber security exercise to test and improve coordinated responses to simulated cyber incident. This, I just share with you the international cooperation because this session actually want to discuss about the international cooperation on this. I think that's all my point. I would like to brief participants. Thank you.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you so much. Well, maybe a question to you, if you allow. We interact with a number of partners in your region, in Southeast Asian region, and we see the tendency there that larger interest in interacting with companies in the ICT, it is shifted towards, so to say, alienated solutions which cater for the full transfer of technology. Of course, that is target of digital sovereignty, not to be dependent on such solutions. Do you have the same approach, your country?
Yeah, the government of the Royal government of Cambodia is so open to those proposed initiatives, actually. And we especially our minister is so open to the proposed cooperation, not only from ASEAN member, from China, but even from Russia. We used to have the discussion. If I'm not wrong, if IT Sonrapit have more idea, you can share. He's from Cambodia as well. We are open.
Yeah, спасибо большое за разъяснение.
Yeah, thank you so much for the clarification. And also, they were supposed to be connected, another two participants, and I would like to draw their attention, and I would like to request from the participants from Latin American region, let's check the connectivity. Our colleague from Peru. Can you hear us? The colleague from Peru. We do not hear you. We see you, but we do not hear you. Okay, good. And now I would like to refer to you. Maybe you will tell us about the experience of Peru as a whole in the region. The issues related to cybersecurity and ICT systems protection, they remain open and they are quite important due to the growth of the digital transactions, electronic services, usage of the new technologies. How do you cope with it? And what's your main focus? Please tell us.
Good afternoon, dear participants and guests of the International Forum, Kazan Digital Week. For me, it's a great honor to be here and to present the Secretary of State Management and Digital Transformation under the chair of the Council of Ministers of Peru. Peru is in the very center of national digital platform, and our vision is clear: to create a more effective, transparent, and citizen-oriented digital state by using all the capacity of digital technologies. And we understand that To implement it in the reality, the key factor is an international cooperation. That is why we are here to share our plans and to also find and look for strategic partners and developers that will lead to specific solutions in our country. This forum for us is an ideal opportunity for such cooperation. To understand the scale and the direction of our work, it is important to look at the context and of our into our external sphere. And the starting point for us is the limited level of digital development. However, nevertheless, we view it not as an obstacle, but as a unique opportunity to create our digital future on the present and future foundation. We strive and to make every Peruvian feel the priorities and advantages of using digital technologies. And our approach for achieving this goal is pragmatic and purposeful, in accordance with principles that goes along with the principles of the international law. We focus on enhancing the connections, exceptional on the technical level. Our strategy is in modernization and looking for direct, specific advantages for Peruvian state, and it is these principles that define our agenda here in Kazan. Well, as we plan, how do we plan to implement this vision of the Peruvian state? To achieve this ambitious goal, we have defined a number of strategic projects, which are basic in our digital agenda. We openly claim that to implement them, we need technical and financial support. That is why we are here. It is here that at this forum that we are looking for unique synergy, and our initiatives are not just abstract ideas. They directly correspond to the key topics of this prestigious forum. It coincides. This coincision is not a chance one. It reflects our purposeful strategy in looking for partners in the spheres where international experience and cooperation are of the highest value. We speak about such tracks as directions as digital technologies in the state, in the government management, and digital industry 4.0, and as well as business integration into integrated innovations. And digitalization is a key to economic and social progress. Otherwise, and this participation is a lever to reach it. When we have defined our strategy, let me show how we put it into practice. And this slide shows 4 pillars of our digital transformation. These are specific structured projects that we are ready to launch, and we have already started doing it. But we we want more. We speak about the creation of international national center for innovation and AI to use the capacity of all the data in making decisions. We speak about construction of the center of data center as a digital heart that will guarantee the sovereignty and the information security of our state. We also plan to introduce national chat for the state communication as a secure and effective communicational platform inspired by the advanced Russian systems such as MAX. And finally, last but not least, we create the national blockchain platform to provide unprecedented level of transparency and trust in the state operations. These four initiatives are not just technological projects. They are the foundation for creation digital future of Peru, and they represent a clear opportunity for international cooperation. Well, our strategic projects, we approach the main issue. How can we work and what can we do to implement them? And we understand that international cooperation is a key to enhancing the digital technology, and Peru proposes the fruitful soil for innovation and investment into information and in info technologies, and that is why we want to speak openly about our interest for the fruitful dialogue that will lead to mutual direct benefits for our countries. And we are really interested in finding out opportunities for bilateral meetings and sessions, and we are looking for partners and organizations for implementing the joint projects, regardless whether it is governmental or private companies. And these projects is not just a technological step forward. It is an opportunity to establish trade economic relations in this sector. In conclusion, here in Peru, we believe in the force of digital transformation for a better future for our citizens. We are ready to cooperate. We are ready for exchange of knowledge, and we are ready for digital projects that will be beneficial to our country. We value this opportunity to present our initiatives here at Kazan Digital Week Forum in 2025, and looking forward to looking for potential partnership, and we are open for a dialogue. And once again, I like to thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I can say on behalf of everyone that we appreciate your openness, and I hope that you will find those who would like to cooperate with you and develop this these relations so after this presentation. And we also have the colleague from Myanmar. Let us check if our colleague from Myanmar is with us. It's great, we can see you. and I hope you can hear us. Good afternoon. Can you share? Yes, we can hear you. We would like to listen to your view concerning the issues of international cooperation in the sphere, cybersecurity and ICTs. Please, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chosonam. I work for the Ministry of Transport and Communication of Myanmar. It is my good honor to be here as a speaker for this wonderful event. Today, I would like to present about international cooperation in InfoSys. So next slide, please. Firstly, let me introduce myself. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a Deputy Director of Myanmar Cyber Emergency Response Team. For bachelor degrees, I got Bachelor of Engineering in IT. For master degree, I got a Global Master in E-Government Public Management from Yonsei University, South Korea. Regarding international certification in cybersecurity field, I got CND, CAs, and CSs from EC Council. And currently, I have more than 80 years of experience in IT and cybersecurity fields. Next slide, please. This is my content for today's presentation. There are 7 parts. I'm going to discuss one by one in the following slide. Next slide. So firstly, I would like to discuss about the current global digital landscape. According to datareport.com, there are over 5 billion internet users worldwide by July 2025. At the same time, cyber threats go beyond limits of national borders, and IT technology are evolving at the rapid speed. So, this figure shows that we need collaborated security approach for safe and secure cyberspace. Next slide, please. So now, please allow me to talk about why international cooperation is important in InfoSys. There are many reasons. The first reason is that cyber threats are global. So it means that attack like the ransomware, phishing, or DDoS can be launched from anywhere in the world and targeted system across multiple countries simultaneously. So the second reason is that sharing threat intelligence. So it means that international collaborations allow countries and organizations to share threat intelligence, malware samples, attack pattern, and best practices. So the third reason is that it's a cross-border cybercrime. So as you know, hackers always hide their identity and operate in jurisdiction with weak laws. So in this case, international corporations make it easier to track, to investigate, and to prosecute attackers across borders. So the next reason is that it's protecting critical infrastructure. So nowadays, power grids, hospital, banking system, and transportation network are interconnected globally. So a cyber attack on one country's system can affect into others. The next reason is that it's a standard in trust. So I believe that international cooperation have to develop common cyber security standards, regulations, and policies. The next reason is that international cooperations allow advanced countries, I mean the developed countries, to support developing countries through training, resources, and technology transfers. So the last reason is that it's a global stability and peace. As you know, state-sponsored attack can escalate into international conflicts. So, international cooperation have to build norms, agreements, and diplomatic channels to reduce misunderstanding and avoid cyber warfare. But in general, cyber threats are borderless, complex, and constantly evolving. So, countries are required to work together to defend, to detect, and respond effectively. Next slide, please. So when we talk about cyber threats, some threats cannot be handled by one country. I think you all know that. But for this case, international cooperation is required by default. Cyber threats such as state-sponsored cyber attack, critical infrastructure attack, supply chain attack, cyber terrorism, disinformation, and emerging threat. These threats are major threats that are driving global cooperation. So you can see the impact in this debate too. Next slide, please. Nowadays, and then emerging technology push innovation and enforces practices, tools, and cooperation. On the other hand, they also cause risk. So, for example, in AI and machine learning, so AI can be used for anomaly detection, threat hunting, and predator defense. But as its risk, attackers also use AI for phishing, deface, and automated attack. So other technology like quantum computing, blockchain, and big data analytics, these are also have this kind of situations. Yeah. Next slide, please. So when we talk about challenges in global cooperation in terms of information security, InfoSec, so I would like to point out six major challenges. The first challenge is uh, different legal system and regulations. So every country have its own cybersecurity law, privacy rules, data protection frameworks. So this kind of situation make cooperation ineffective. So the next challenge is attribution or cyber attack. So it's hard to prove who is behind a cyber attack because cyber criminal can hide their origin with proxy, VPN, and botnet. The next challenge is trust issue between countries. So some governments fear that sharing threat intelligence information will expose their own vulnerabilities. The next challenge is unequal capabilities. So it means that developing countries may lack cybersecurity infrastructure, funding, or scale experts. So this imbalance makes global defense unfair. I believe that. Next challenge is jurisdictional barriers. As you know, cybercrimes cross borders, but law enforcement is limited by national boundaries. Yeah, the last one is different cybersecurity standards. So every country and industry use different technical standards and frameworks. Let code harmonization make collaboration harder. I believe that. Next slide, please. About how to strengthen future enforcement cooperation. And the first thing to do is that we need to build global cyber norms and agreements. So we need to develop UN level or multilateral or bilateral agreements on responsible state behavior in cyberspace. The second thing to do is that we need to harmonize laws and regulations. It means that we need to standardize legal frameworks for data protection, cybercrime, and digital forensics. So it made it easier extradition of cyber criminal and smoother cross-border investigations. I believe that. So the third thing to do is to expand threat intelligence sharing. So it's required to create trusted global platform for real-time threat intelligence exchange. The fourth thing to do is we need to enhance public-private partnerships, PPP. So global companies should work with together, should work with relevant governments so that joint different initiatives can lead to secure cloud, IoT, and critical infrastructure. The next thing to do is capacity building for developing countries. So it is necessary to provide training, funding, and infrastructure support for developing countries. So the last thing to do is cybersecurity standard and certification. So we need to push for international standards like ISO and NIST to be widely adopted. So we should conduct certification programs for secure software devices and critical services. Next slide, please. Finally, please allow me to discuss about Myanmar and international cooperation status. We, Myanmar and Russia, signed the agreement on cooperation in the field of international information security since 2023. The main area of cooperation are legislation, capacity building, and counterterrorism. Now, it is in progress for further cooperation. At the regional level, we cooperate with different organizations such as ASEAN Naval Security Action Council, ASEAN Cybersecurity Coordinating Committee, ASEAN Japan Cybersecurity Cooperation Activity, ASEAN Australia Cyber Policy Dialogue, ASEAN China Cyber Dialogue, and Business Cybersecurity Cooperation. So for the cyber emergency response activity, Myanmar and the National Computer Incident Response and Coordination Center, NCI and RCC of Russia, have been cooperating on cybersecurity information sharing since 2020. And also, we participate in Asia Pacific Computer Emergency Responding, APSAT, and ASEAN Regional Computer Emergency Responding, ASEAN CES as well. So this is the end of my presentation, and thank you for your kind attention.
Спасибо.
Thank you so much for such an expanded and very informative and practice-oriented presentation. Here we can only agree to the facts, what you have said, and with all of the priorities that you have noted. Thank you so much, and it would be quite logical if the summing up will be by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Russian Federation, Artur Rushanovich. Please, all of the work of the coordination of actions in the sphere of international cybersecurity, well, in Russia. Please tell us how is the picture unfolds in terms of international cooperation? Where does Russia stand at the moment? What are the benefits and what are the priorities and what are the prospects? Thank you.
Well, so we agreed in advance that we would use the platform presented by the organization committee to give our foreign guests an opportunity to speak about their views, priorities, tasks. So to set the same task for our country, for NCKE, well, so it is for CRT, it is just a number of agencies that work with us, and it is more than 10. And how can we strengthen our back connection, and how can we include our domestic developers? And thank you very much to the organizational committee for this brainstorm that you have organized here, and I put down some notes, and also just in brief. I would like to comment on the presentations by our foreign guests. Just the key points, the central points that we have heard here today, and we had a presentation by Alexander Lukic. Thank you very much for your very good Russian. Actually, the main message for you is that Serbia is moving ahead to the creation of the centralized body that you have told about, and that you are going to issue the law and the council directory on international security. We are waiting for this event to happen, and we support our readiness to enhance our connections concerning this topic, also concerning national security and in terms of development and international cooperation. And as soon as you complete these internal state procedures, we would like to strengthen the dialogue in this direction. Thank you very much. I was impressed by the Rwanda ambassador presentation. We keep track of this country and their activities, and there are regular events devoted to the agenda of information communication technologies. And concerning the issues of security, our developers work there, and they have good positions there, not only within the frames of this country, but even wider. If you view perspectives of going on to and strengthening the positions at the African continent and beneficial connections between our countries. And of course, the ambassador told us that there is a forum that's going to be held at the end of September concerning the cybersecurity issues. Also, although it is just 2 weeks to 29th of September, but we'll try to take into account everything and make everything possible to participate at this event. And I would also like to thank the representative of the Department Department of Mail and Communication, Jan Kamrang. Also, we interact with Cambodia actively in frames of ASEAN countries, where there are regular contacts with you, with your representatives, both in region, in the frames of the dialogue cooperation format, Russia, ASEAN, and also we have a very good format of interaction on the platform of Kuban Conference on Cybersecurity. A new round of this conference is going to be held in October, and you have an invitation from Russia and all the other ASEAN countries representatives to have a conference and to have a meeting at the platform of this conference next month. We hope you will be here. And just the same, I address to our friend from Myanmar, Deputy Director Kusaneng, and I should say that we have very close work with ASEAN countries. We exchange our opinions, we have common positions that coincide, and the main point is not just concerning ASEAN countries, but information communication technologies are the means of development and breaking obstacles, and it is the security factors that we have to take into account, as info technologies provide a lot of opportunities, but also there are vulnerable points, and that we have to overcome through international cooperation. Speaking of reports from experts on policy and digital transformation in Peru, Felix Acaveda, your beautiful presentation will be brought to the ministry and agency, and we will invite you to cooperation, bilateral cooperation, and we will find out the ways to establish cooperation and respond to the offers. Also, thank you for the brilliant Russian language. So maybe I will give more time for questions and not take your time now. And I'd like to note that we all speak the same language, and we view the opportunities and risks and threats, of course, that appear as long as info technologies spread, as long as digitalization takes place. And our minister, Maksut Igorovich, told about limitless perspectives of info technologies and how they make our life easier. Well, so they make interconnection between international state bodies easier. Well, so interaction with enterprises and so on. And we are ready to share this experience. And what is most important is, by sharing this experience, we also pay a lot of attention to the issues of cybersecurity, informational security, and all the foreign guests told about that. And I'd like to draw your attention, first of all, to of our friends from foreign countries on the coming event, which is historical event on 25th and 26th of October in Hanoi. the resolution, UN resolution adopted in December 2024, on the 24th of December, on holding the ceremony on signing the convention, UN Convention on Cybersecurity. It is the first legally binding agreement, and Mikhail Andreevich was talking about that. It is the step further in fighting crimes, and you know that Russia initiated the development of such an agreement in 2019, and I didn't expect it, but the story goes like the half of the world states, well, let's say 70% were against this initiative. But despite the fact that they lost the state agreement, they did not didn't join the majority opinion, and the majority is the developing countries. They joined the negotiations that were really tough. They lasted for 2.5 years. And they started in 2024 in February. And the first year and a half, these discussions were really emotional. Some delegations just lost temper, couldn't hold themselves. These were negotiations, not just a way to set performances. But within 2.5 years, we were able to agree in terms of geopolitical tension, the project of convention against cyber crimes, and it shows the high demand for such kind of international agreements, and how high demand is for further efforts of states on enhancing cybersecurity. Russia will be presented by a delegation, high-level delegation, with the Prosecutor General, Russian Federation, and we invite all the countries to join this event. And I know that the Social Republic of Vietnam, as a part who showed interest in hosting the event, shows great interest to this meeting, to the ceremony of signing, and is also interested in inviting as many countries as possible. And we facilitate all these efforts not only through these regular contacts in Kazan, Moscow, and other cities, during our foreign trips, and due to competent bodies support and due to government support of Russian Federation, are invited to amend a solution on enhancing the voluntary fee for counteracting criminal use of cyber technologies, and these funds. Well, of course, there are some difficulties in transferring, but these funds will be aimed at facilitating Vietnam to hold this event, to hold seminars and meetings on popularization of international cooperation in the interest of bringing into force this convention on cybersecurity. That is all I wanted to say. And I'd like to say thank you to all the participants. And if you have any questions, please welcome. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Artur Shanovich. And if you have any questions, we will have time to ask them. And if there are no questions, I would like to thank all the participants. It was really interesting listening the view from the whole world on also the issue of international cooperation in the digital sphere. And also I believe that you were also interested, and I've noted quite a lot of new ideas for me, and I hope that all of you have some new ideas. Thank you very much for speakers and guests. And thank you to interpreters. Well, thank you.
Виртуализация жизненно необходима для современных IT-сред. Однако для развития и защиты бизнеса следует тщательно выбирать решения по виртуализации. Выбирайте надежные решения, предоставляющие значительные преимущества, наибольшую экономию и высочайшую скорость реагирования на бизнес-потребности. Облачную платформу Space VM.
Технологии UserGate не обращают внимания на географию и границы, обеспечивая надежность в любой точке цифровой вселенной. Мы заботимся о том, чтобы вам было комфортно и безопасно каждый день. Мы защищаем вас, пока вы меняете мир к лучшему.
Предприниматель бесконечно может смотреть на три вещи. Как горит огонь в глазах команды, как растет поток клиентов и как работают деньги. Откройте расчетный счет в Акбарсбанке с доходом 15,5% на остаток.